Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, and I've called this video clip Getting Lucky Astrology. And the reason I did so is because I used the words to kind of course, fuse the fact that, today is St. Patrick's Day, but also kind of be thinking about some concepts that are related to astrology. So the three main areas that I'll be demonstrating today is how there are some benefic planets, and then how if planetary bodies are in a ruling house, then this is considered something that is lucky, and then also exalted planetary bodies. So exalted bodies are different than planets that are in their ruling bodies. So, for instance, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So, in this next segment, I'll be going over a demonstration of some of these aspects. Hi, so let's go through an example to look for some of the lucky aspects that are contained within the astrological chart. So for starters, let's put into perspective what this is looking at. So what we're looking at here is if we were to draw the astrological chart of the current time. The location is set to Atlanta, but you can set it to any geographical location that you please. So these are the degrees and locations of all of the planetary bodies. The sun is located currently within the sky in 17 degrees of Pisces, and does that make sense? You want to make sure of that, and it certainly does because we're about to go into Aries. So that makes sense. In a couple days, we're about to go into Aries, and so then also, what is the moon in now? The moon, of course, goes around the astrological chart much faster than the sun. Within, of course, a day, it's going really fast. So then you have, of course, Mercury right here, and then in green you have Venus, Mars in red, Jupiter. So I'm going to start off by listing some of the lucky planets. So that some of the lucky planets are considered Jupiter, Venus, uh, the moon, and the sun. These are all typically considered lucky planets. Now, what does what do can it make it even luckier is if it's in its own ruling house. So if you think about um, which planets, which signs the moon rules, moon one sign that moon rules is Cancer. So if you have a Cancer moon, then that's even more lucky than just having a moon that is in any other sign. So Cancer, of course, is represented by this right here. This is the sign. And then, of course, you have Venus, and then Mars and Jupiter and other planets. Okay, so I've given you a couple of rules of thumb to try to identify lucky spots. Now, another one is understanding configurations. Let's go into seeing what configurations are, and then we'll go over one that is really interesting to look at. So one lucky configuration is the trine, but also the sextile. These are both very lucky configurations. Now, if you look at this trine is between the moon and Pluto. So it, typically, any sort of trine is considered lucky. Now, some of the trines are more easy to interpret than others. This is a little bit more complicated because whenever there's an aspect between kind of an outer body like Pluto, planetary body, and a personal planet, even when it's a trine, typical experience shows that there's some types of challenges and that you try to go through to understand. And so but typically a trine is considered a lucky aspect. So I've given you a couple of rules of thumb. Planetary bodies themselves can be lucky. So, for instance, Jupiter is the considered one of the most luckiest planets. And then whatever sign the planet rules, that can be considered lucky. So, can you think of what sign Jupiter rules? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Okay, so then you can think of, so if Jupiter that's in Sagittarius is lucky, and then of course the trine and the sextiles, but they're both lucky. So that's the things to be thinking about if you're a beginner or if you're more advanced. These are some points of context to better learn and understand astrology. Thank you for listening.